During the last months, we heard the word AI just a couple of times.
AI, generative AI, it uses AI to bring AI.
So I decided to run a Turing test on my girlfriend. The Turing test, invented by Alan Turing in 1950, is a way to see if a computer can think like a human. It involves a person having a conversation with both a machine and another person without seeing them. If the person cannot tell which is the machine and which is the human, the test is considered passed, showing that the machine can think like a human. In this modified version of the Turing test, I will let my girlfriend talking with an AI on WhatsApp until she finds out that she's not really talking with me. To make things more spicy, I will not just use text, but I will also clone my voice as well to send also audios. Do you think this is enough? Definitely no. I will do something even crazier, and we will see if she recognizes that something weird is happening. Chapter 1. Let's clone myself. The first problem we need to solve is to find a way for an AI to answer on WhatsApp like me. After evaluating multiple techniques, I think that fine-tuning a model like GPT-3.5 is my best chance. Fine-tuning is like teaching a robot new tricks. Imagine you have a robot that already knows how to do some things, like talk and walk. But you want it to do more, like telling jokes or talking like a specific person. So you teach it these things by telling him a lot of jokes and showing how this person usually talks. The robot listens and learns, just like us, and then he can tell jokes and speak as the other person. That's fine-tuning in a nutshell. Of course, it is way more complex. I need to find a way to fine-tune GPT-3.5, but I never did it before. After a little bit of research on the documentation, it doesn't seem to be so complex. I just need to have all my WhatsApp conversations with my girlfriend in a format acceptable for OpenAI. First of all, we need to download the chat. I followed the instructions on the WhatsApp website, but my phone was like stuck. Eventually, after waiting for a few minutes, I managed to send me via email a 2 MB text file containing the entire chat from the start of the year. Alright, this was just the first step. Now I need to find a way to convert the messages from this format to the OpenAI format. To do so, I just created a really simple JavaScript tool. I started by reading the messages from the file, then I merged multiple messages from the same person. A lot of times, instead of writing multiple sentences, I just send a bunch of messages. So I created a function that takes all the messages and merges them when necessary. I also implemented a time threshold to avoid false positives. Then I changed the roles in the messages from our names in the chat to the roles that OpenAI is expecting. Now the difficult thing is to split the stream of messages into meaningful conversations. I found two heuristics: the max number of messages per conversation and time. I wrote a function to split all the messages into meaningful conversations, and after the last cleaning I saved everything into a JSON lines file. Our fine-tuning file is ready, and to be honest, I'm really happy with the quality of the data. Now I want to fine-tune GPT-3.5. I started really small with just a bunch of 10 conversations just to evaluate how it behaves and how much data I will need. In reality, I'm just poor, but the other excuse sounds really professional, right? I uploaded the file on the OpenAI website and I started the fine-tuning job. After a while it finished and we can already see some progress. This first fine-tuning cost me around 20 cents and, as you may guess, the results were not the best, but this is fine, it's just the starting point. Then I used a sample of 200 conversations for 3 epochs and I started to see some real progress. One of the main aspects to take into account is that all the conversations are in Italian, so I would expect for the bot to be slightly more complex. During this test phase, I created a script, put inside the real conversation that I had in the past days, and evaluated how the system which was impersonating me would respond. Of course, the test data that I used has not been used for training. I started to recognize in the answers some patterns that I use as well when I reply on WhatsApp. This is the real sign that what I'm doing is working. I just need to train with more data for more epochs. Since I was finishing my test budget of $5, I decided to run just another job, this time using 400 conversations and 6 epochs. After this, I almost finished the budget for my initial experiment. But when I tested the fine-tuned model, this time I was really amazed. Even with some tiny issues, it was already pretty accurate. The model was already answering like me, using all the patterns that I use with my girlfriend. I can recognize that because sometimes instead of using normal words like yes, I use slightly different words like yeah, and in this case the bot returned the right tokens. Now we are ready to fine-tune the real model that will impersonate myself during the entire experiment. I will use all the conversations and at least 8 epochs. Probably this will cost me around $50, but it's for the science.
One eternity later.
Chapter 2. Voice cloning. If fine-tuning a model on 40,000 messages is not enough, I want also to give a shot to voice cloning models. I quickly googled voice cloning AI and I found the ElevenLabs voice cloning. Since I am already investing money in the fine-tuning of the OpenAI model, I don't want to spend too much on voice cloning, and the current offer for the first month at just $1 is exactly what I was looking for. I quickly translated the script of one of my videos into Italian and I started to record the audio. The minimum length is 1 minute, so I just used the 2 minutes audio. It created my voice in just a few seconds and, to be honest, the result is impressive. To verify that the result is good enough, I just created an audio, recorded it, and sent it to my girlfriend while we were talking, and she didn't notice anything weird. To be honest, I think that this is a really noticeable result. Alright, since my new voice is ready and customized, we can really start with the experiment. Chapter 3. iRobot. Okay folks, I tested all the tools, all the models, everything, and we should be ready to go. Like every fair game, I want to add just a few rules. First of all, I cannot change the text generated from the model. If the result of the fine-tuned model is totally unrelated with the conversation, I will have 10 Hz. Like in a video game. I can sacrifice 1 Hz and ask the LLM to recreate another response. The Hz will restart each day, and to make things even more difficult, I will remove 1 Hz per day. So the first day I will have 10 Hz, the second day I will have 9, and so on and so forth. Regarding the voice cloning, when the result from the LLM is long enough, I will put that text into the ElevenLabs website, generate the audio and send it. Since the fine-tuned model has now my tone but not all the information that are in my brain, yet at least, when needed I will give just a little bit of context to the LLM to reply correctly. We can fix that with a RAG, but maybe in another video? Who knows? Last but not least, the experiment will stop once she recognizes that something odd is happening.